Good evening, folks. Dr. Freedom here with you. Time some Doctor News, the news from in and around the universe that may or may not astound you, inform you, and make you go spew and do the Technicolor yawn. It just amazes me the amount of jealousy and hatred that's been getting bred inside, the Whovian community. And like I said, I'm mainly talking about those folks who go out and do like the set reports and things like that. It's just lately there's been a lot of this stuff going on thanks to a little fellow who looks almost like a cross between Napoleon and Hitler if they had a love child, who's been running around spreading rumors, stories, and all that. Meanwhile, this was a guy who used to be on set just as often as any single one of those other people. And it's just, my favorite one is the fact that there's people blaming the set reporters for being spoiled. There were no real spoilers for this entire damn season, really, that came off DWSR for the majority of it. There was some stuff that did get out about the Christmas special, yes. But even when I put it up, I always put spoiler warning. Or better yet, here's this one person go, how do I mute DWSR? Don't type it in, you jackass. It's that simple. The thing is, people go out sometimes. Like I said, I know there's a lot of people who don't go out looking, but there's a lot of people who do. And then when they do get spoiled, they run screaming to mama like a child who just stubbed their toe on a freaking piece of furniture. And it's just getting to be sick. Or what's even worse is there's people out there who, could just go to the filming. It's like, I love how they're jumping up and down going, this person's evil because they do it and all that. And meanwhile, they live like, right in London and stuff like that, a few hours away. And it's like, look at me. I live in the frickin' United States. You know what my chances are of having actually made it to any Doctor Who sets, let alone getting to meet Peter, Pearl, or anything like that on a set or a location is. But you don't see me jumping up and down and screaming about it like an errant child. And that's what a lot of it is going on. It's just sheer jealousy of the folks who had the courage to do it. That's all it takes. Get up, get some gumption, make some plans, find out what's going on, keep informed, and you have your chance just like anybody else. And if you don't want access to that information, nobody is holding a bazooka to your head saying you've got to read it or take a look at it. It's just amazing to me. It really is. I'm sorry if I've been on a rant here, but I've been getting some really disparaging stuff lately. And okay. Let's get on to the good news, or, well, it's not exactly good news, really. It's kind of sad. Let's bring this up. Okay, George Baker. I say I'm going to cut the audio because the audio is kind of choppy because of the wind. And Peter Capaldi came out today of his own volition to meet with a group of fans who had accumulated outside, because it turns out today, Doctor Who, the Christmas special, did wrap today. This was Peter Capaldi's final day, June 10th in 2017, on the set for Doctor Who. And they got together and they thought that this was, a very somber, occasion. And they wanted to say, look, Peter, we are going to miss you and all that stuff. And then, you know what they got? A bunch of bile from fellow Whovians. Bile. And a lot of it's just needless bile. It's just amazing. It's just, I can't understand it. Why fans are jealous of other fans. And it's one of the reasons why I left Star Trek fandom altogether. It just got to be total nonsense. Oh, man. And I'm just hoping this disease ain't going to spoil. Then again, it's already there. It's just, maybe I choose not to see it. I know a lot of you folks out there watching are just very intelligent, level-headed people. I know you're only here to get the facts and whatnot, but don't be jealous of somebody because they've got to meet Peter, got to meet somebody. Be happy for them. That's what I do. It's like, as someone once said, and I know it's a very familiar saying, resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It doesn't work. It really doesn't. Okay. And Peter got together with this handful of fans, and they snapped a few pics here and there. The Moff actually came out as well. There he is with the fan and all that. Or sorry, I think maybe that's Rachel Tilley. I got Rachel Tilley, I know, came out as well. Of course, there's Adam Orford, and we all know him. But it was just a very heartfelt time, because this is the last time these guys are going to be working on this show. Now, George put this up, and apparently the bus driver had no idea that was Peter Capaldi. They flagged him over or something like that. It was a funny story. Once again, though, just because other people have an ability to do something you can't, don't resent them. Don't be jealous. It's not worth it. It's not really worth the strain. It's not really worth being angry or feeling some sick emotion because somebody has the ability to do something you cannot. It just amazes the living hell out of me. It really does. And especially the poison that was being thrown around on Twitter today. I couldn't believe some of the asinine statements I saw. It's all DWSR's fault. They're looking forward to DWSR being shut down, blah, blah, blah. Chances are you're probably not going to be able to, because if they want to film on public land, I got some bad news for you. There's very little, if anything, they can do about it. They just have to do what they did this year, and that's why I said I can't believe everybody's saying that most of this year got spoiled when just about 95% of this season was either shot on private land or in studio. So it just amazes the crap out of me. I'm sorry if I'm going on and on, but it's just I've had a lot of crap dumped on me over the last 48 hours. I just cannot believe. Moving on. In praise of the Moff on the legacy of Doctor Who's departing showrunner, and this is a brilliant little piece put up by the Huffington Post, United Kingdom. It goes into some of his finer points and all that, things, that they felt were, interesting and great about, his writing style, the way he ran things. And I'll leave this one for you to read. This by a fellow named Ivan Phillips. And it was a very, I gave it a quick read over here a few minutes ago, and it's a very interesting article in itself. So, if you want, or it's a blog, actually. I don't know. It's a blogger. It's an article. It's a blog. Okay, moving on. Series 10 final ratings information is in. Let's go take a look at this, shall we? All right. Sorry, I'm making sure I didn't screw something up there. Okay. The Doctor Falls. All right. This is final ratings, live plus 7 to 9 yards. Had an official rating of 5.295 million viewers. Once again, there's a group of fat folks out there who are jumping up and down, seeming to think that Doctor Who should be getting 10, 12, 15 million viewers, like, say, The Walking Dead over the United States. Or, oh, my God, it wasn't that low when Tenet was a Doctor, and things like that. The problem is online watching and all that wasn't as commonly available as it is now. And that's what people are failing to realize. Not everybody's watching TV on television anymore. The episode was the 16th highest rated program of the week, 8th on BBC television, and listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, the highest rated program on Saturday, overtaking Casualty, which beat it in the initial ratings. Top for the week was, of course, Corey with 8.77 million watching. So this was Doctor Who right here. And like I said, it was the highest rated program on Saturday, beating out, for the week. So before you start looking at this number and screeching, that looks so low, this is what matters right here as far as it goes. All right. It was the most watched program. Now, there are full details of Series 10 are now available. And it gives you little things like highest chart position was the pilot, which came in at number 10, blah, blah, blah. Things like that. If you want to go over this stuff, but once again, keep in mind, initial overnights really don't mean anything anymore. Keep your eye out on the live plus 7s and things like that. And even then, take those with a grain of salt. All that matters is how many people watched what shows that day and where did Doctor Who figure in on that. And like I said, still, Doctor Who with only 5.3 million viewers came in at the highest top watched program of the day for that Saturday. It doesn't take that much anymore. All right, moving on. I'm ranting and I'm raving. I know. Final Australian ratings for World Enough in Time. And like I said, all right, that's okay. Including time shifted viewers, World Enough in Time averaged 534,000. Consolidated viewers in the 5 major capital cities with 87,000 extra viewers. It was the second highest time shifted program of the day and the 9th highest rating program of the day overall. Moving on. Luke, all right, Doctor Who Christmas special. Guess what? Looks like it's finished filming. I forgot to take this out of the mix. So this was posted on July 8th, and this was the night, I guess, of the gold wrap and all that. But I put this up here mainly because here's some of the folks who are involved with Doctor Who, you know, talking about the golden wrap party that was done that night and things along that line. I'm sure there's going to be more stuff coming up from them over the coming days. Okay, Ask Doctor Who with Pearl Mackie. All the, you know, some really interesting questions fans asked her, and of course Pearl does an amazing job on it. Same thing with Peter here. Ask Doctor with Peter Capaldi. And the thing is, you know, I really can't stand this format. So what I do is I press play here, and when the YouTube thing comes up, click out of here. That way you can get full screen. Okay, sneak peek of the Christmas special is going to be shown at Comic-Con 2017. A lot of folks are starting to make this sound like Trailergate 2017. And I hate to say it, but it is. And a lot of my friends are going to be go, Brian, what are you doing? Well, Dr. Freedom, what are you up to? It's sad to me that a show made in the UK, paid for by UK citizens, is getting shown for promotional purposes on the other side of the pond. Meanwhile, the folks over in the UK who actually paid for it are probably not going to get jack squat for months again. Like I said, we'll keep an eye on this and see how it develops. You see, it's one thing to say you show the trailer and say like 48 hours later it pops up in the UK where the people who actually paid the budget for this show live and can see it. Or better yet, they get the thing. But it's just this whole Comic-Con gets to see it first thing is just blowing my mind, especially when, well, a lot of folks are saying, well, it's an international Comic-Con. I go, yeah, and how many folks from Great Britain are going to fly over there just to watch a freaking trailer or a sneak peek? It's not pennies, folks. It's not. All right, Radio 4 appeal. And this was Peter Capaldi's Radio 4 appeal on the behalf of Coram, a very, you know, distinguished charity. Matter of fact, Coram is the UK's oldest children's charity and has been caring for and protecting the most vulnerable children for 278 years. So it's a very, very, you know, interesting, you know, appeal, especially, you know, you can hear, you know, Peter, class act, really putting himself out there for this particular charity. Moving on. New trailer for Doctor Who Series 2, Steelbook. And if you're interested in this, boom, 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 it gives you a little bit of details about it. Accompanying the 3-disc Blu-ray box set with stunning artwork by designer Lee Binding is this trailer. And it contains all the Series 2 episodes plus the bonus features, including Doctor Who Confidential behind-the-scene tour of David Tennant. Also included are separate art cards for the covers. So, and good luck finding this, you know, for, I mean, I guess there's a friend of mine who's been having trouble finding the steel jacketed season 1. Okay, Doctor Who Ninth Doctor number 14. This Wednesday, July 12th, sees brand new arc from Titan and continued comic adventures with the Ninth Doctor. Sorry if it sounds like I'm a little bit out of breath. My allergies been really firing up today because we had that massive storm surge come through, and oh man. So moving on. Okay, hold that was all. So once again, just because a group of people go out and they have access to certain individuals filming or things like that, don't be jealous of them. Be happy for them. And if you don't want to look at that information, mute them. Don't go on a Twitter war, self-righteous, like you're marching into the Crusades with your sonic screwdriver held high and your sonic shield in the other going, I will do battle because they are not true Whovians. And if I hear the term true Whovian one more time, I will spew so much, it's going to make the flood of Noah look like a freaking leaky faucet at your local hotel. I'm not kidding. It's just getting to be sad. It really is. The jealousy of that fans are literally leaping on each other like freaking sharks in a blood frenzy. It just, oh man. Folks, you obviously missed the whole point of Doctor Who. If you can't, I think it was Peter's, you know, well, in that speech, Diagon version, the only way people can live in peace is if they're willing to forgive. And once again, don't be jealous of people. Be happy for them. Don't be resentful. Take pride in knowing somebody's out there who can do this. Well, before I get on another crazy rant that's going to go, like I said, I already had a guy throw a fit because I said there were certain fans out there who are gender biased about, you know, there possibly being a female doctor. Oh, that's like I said. He went on a spew run on me for some reason. Like this is paragraph of the song, and I'm unsubbed, and I'm like, what can I do? I'm sorry. If that's your opinion, what else can you call it, really? But that's a whole nother rant. I'm getting out of here before I start another Twitter war. So good night, folks. Take care. Check ha. Have a good one. And hopefully we'll see you again very soon in the future. Omega Files probably won't be back this weekend, but probably the following weekend. And I think it's looking like we're going to take a review of Castlevania. I'm going to ask guys around and see if that's the one they want to do. So until then, or unless we get a Doctor Who announcement, like who the freaking hell taking over? Well, I'm getting out before I start ranting again. Ah, damn it!